Political season in Kazakhstan has been officially launched. Its grand opening was held in the renovated hall of the government building, where the main speaker was the President of Kazakhstan and the main political statement was his State of the Nation address. This is the reporter with President's special project on Silkway TV channel. We will be following the President's weekly schedule to share all the exclusive content with you. So let's get started. The atmosphere in government is special. Members of parliament, lower chamber, Majlis and Senate, as well as members of the government, the cabinet of ministers, have gathered in Astana to welcome each other prior to a new political season which traditionally kicks off on the first day of September. We approached some of the participants of the event at the venue. They are excited. Some of them declined our request for a comment awaiting the end of the State of the Nation address delivered by the president, but some are keen on sharing their emotions.
I'm confident in further implementation of the reforms in our country. First of all, I think the big importance lays in the concept of mayor's elections. We have started to test it in some of the districts of our region, and I hope to continue with this work. A lot of work has been done, and we prepare to do more.
This is the audience where the President of Kazakhstan will deliver his address to the nation very, very soon. A truly historic and long-awaited moment, and this speech will define the future development of Kazakhstan for the next year. The hall has been opened shortly before the start of a new political season. Now all the joint summits with the head of state will be held at this venue. Members of parliament who traveled the regions of Kazakhstan and engaged with their constituencies during summer months now are back to their daily routine in the parliament. We spoke to some of them, of course, anticipating answers of their expectations ahead of the State of the Nation address.
I'm awaiting a serious impulse that the speech of the head of state will bring to the work of our chamber. And of course, I think the main focus will be on economic development, on the issues related to strengthening our people's welfare.
What are your expectations ahead of the State of the Nation address? Do you think that the issues of social inclusivity will be added to the agenda?
You know that every State of the Nation address has a special dedication to the rights of the people with disabilities. Now we're preparing a special concept called Inclusive Kazakhstan, and I expect President to mention the importance of this concept.
And we also managed to get a short comment from President Tokayev, Minister of Finance of Kazakhstan, whose main responsibility is to control state financial policy.
First of all, it is the fulfillment of the revenue part and correct fulfillment of the expenditure part of the budget. You know, this year our budget was a little bit strained. The ministry is now aimed at straightening out the budget. We're entering a new political season. We have a new budget for 2025-2027. We will probably make a presentation in the Majlis.
The head of anti-corruption agency, Ashadju Magali, also shares briefly the results of his work.
We are working very closely with our foreign partners and our participants in Istanbul Action Plan Against Corruption. We aim to join the Convention Against Bribery in International Transactions. This will enable us to join the ranks of OECD countries in the future.
Now the head of state arrives at the venue. All of the political establishment of the country welcomes him with a long applause. First and foremost, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev focuses his attention on the economic development of the country. The banking sector, the president says, should contribute more finances into the national economy. The business climate in the country should be favorable for more foreign investments.
In the first international competition for investment, it is of paramount importance to make decisions to attract capital in the here and now mode. Therefore, the investment headquarters under the government was given greater authority. This allowed to accelerate the implementation of projects in such priority areas as deep processing of metals, oil, gas and coal chemistry, tourism, energy and machine building.
Developing new points of growth in the regions of Kazakhstan is another priority. Kazakhstan should boost its manufacturing production with a focus on adjustment of allied industries.
The government has drawn up a list of 17 major projects. Priority is given to the development of high-value-added products. It is important to maximize the use of domestic raw materials and components and to establish related production around the giants.
The ministers and MPs write the tasks down immediately as they are responsible for its further implementation. The President continues his speech. A very important message for Kazakhstan's international partners. The country is firmly committed to a peaceful and balanced foreign policy.
Казахстан твердо придерживается миролюбивой и сбалансированной внешней политики.
Kazakhstan firmly adheres to a peaceful and balanced foreign policy. The main tasks for diplomacy remain strengthening the sovereignty and independence of the state, protecting the rights of citizens abroad, promoting national interests, and attracting investment in the economy.
Astana Finance Day's annual international financial conference have gathered nearly 4,000 participants from 70-plus countries. This year, held under the theme of Innovate, Invest and Impact, the conference's main goal is to promote dialogue among professionals of financial industries from the entire world. The conference will be attended soon by the head of state. Despite the challenges and global disruption, AFD is a platform which brings together the best minds of the financial sector of different countries from El Salvador to China to address key issues of the sector and to develop surviving strategies in times of turmoil. Participants we talked to during the conference expressed confidence when talking about the development of the financial system of Kazakhstan and Central Asia, saying that there is a big potential for this part of the world to become a new rising power in finances.
If you think about Kazakhstan, the Kazakhstan government made a lot of investments in order to diversify its economy and even build the financial sector even stronger. Also really putting a focus on investment funds, the financial sector in general. And I think with strong regulatory bodies like the AAFC, the AFSA, that will only benefit the country even more and more. And we are really looking forward to build together with the AFC, especially the fund sector, even further.
What's different about this year, I think, is these three themes. We're seeing, firstly, in terms of investment, as I said before on this session, this AIFC's facilitated significant amounts of investment over the last 5 years, and now we're starting to see the growth in assets under management for some of the funds. Secondly, around impact, we've got some runs on the board. This is 5 years in, 6 years in, and I think we're now, as AIFC and Astana Finance Days, we're part of the financial infrastructure of Kazakhstan, so that's very pleasing. And and finally, in terms of innovation, you see an agenda here that's got everything from digital assets in El Salvador through to more traditional alternative investments to the public equity market. So it's such a broad range of topics, and this is much about us educating or telling people about AIFC. Is it about generating energy? And it's actually really great. This is in September. What we're seeing is what I call the resurgence of national exchanges, and London used to be an exchange for global companies to go and get global investors. This is not the case anymore. And the transition of Caspi's listing from London to New York is just symptomatic of a broader trend, which is unless you're a very, very big company and you want to go to New York, you'll list and trade on a national exchange. Mm-hmm. And clearly AIX is that national exchange. So we've got a lot of growth opportunity here.
Digitalization is the key. Juan Carlos Reyes from El Salvador achieves impressive results in his country, making the digital assets ecosystem accessible thanks to the best crypto regulations in the Americas. Being a keynote speaker at AFD, Mr. Carlos Reyes shared his view on the digitalization process going on in Kazakhstan.
I think that the question of whether blockchain technology will be part of the financial markets is not an if it will be, it's more of when it will be, given that when it comes to digital assets technology like blockchain, it create a lot more transparency, immutability, faster settlement. One of the mutual companies that we have under regulation between El Salvador and Kazakhstan is Bitfinex Securities. and Binance as well. But Bitfinex Securities is very innovative when it comes to creating tokenization of real-world assets. And I think the synergies between El Salvador and Kazakhstan in being able to share different securities or different tokenizations, it's going to be incredible.
Now, President arrives to the premises. First, he's introduced with the activities of the AIFC participants who have contributed significantly to the development and reinforcement of this platform's ecosystem. One of those members of AIFC who presented his speech to the President Tokayev is Vishal Sachindran, the head of regional markets of Binance, the world's leading blockchain ecosystem.
Yeah, we were talking about our commitment to Kazakhstan. We are working very closely with the AIFC and the FSA. We like working with forward-thinking regulators and forward-thinking governments, and I think we've got the support that we have required from the Kazakhstan people and the AIFC in particular. And we're talking about it's not just applying for the financial license, it's also doing the other work. You know, we're doing a lot on the education side, working with universities on the ground, working with, I think, 22 plus universities, and trying to incorporate blockchain education from the grassroots level, and also working with the law enforcement agencies in the country and training them on best practices in the crypto industry.
Right after President Tokayev in his speech in front of the members of the AIFC Management Council once again underlines the important role of AIFC in ensuring further sustainable and progressive development of the country.
Since its inception, the AIFC has achieved remarkable results, establishing itself as a unique hub for investment, innovation, and financial services. Our center offers excellent conditions for attracting investments with favorable tax, visa, and labor policies, tailored support for every investor, and a fair and impartial judicial system. We have also made IPO participation accessible to all citizens of Kazakhstan through cutting-edge digital solutions.
The grand opening ceremony of the 5th World Nomad Games is about to start. We have managed access to the VIP tribune where the President of Kazakhstan will be accompanied by the leaders of other countries, and they will be witnessing this amazing opening ceremony from here, from this location. But before that, the President of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, will deliver his speech to officially launch the 5th World Nomad Games today. It's becoming very busy in the VIP zone. Official delegations from the country's participants are being welcomed by the newly appointed Kazakh Minister of Tourism and Sport. We're approaching the head of the World Ethnosport Confederation, Mr. Erdogan, to know his expectations ahead of the Games.
This is a traditional sports event headed by the Turkic world. And it's an important event because it's the largest international sporting event that caters only to the traditional sports and games. After the 4th Nomad Games, we know that Astana is going to be the best event that has been organized so far. And I would like to thank the President Tokayev for his support in organizing these games, the Ministry of Sports of Kazakhstan, and obviously the Kazakh nation is a big fan of traditional sports of Kazakhstan. I'm sure the fans are flocking to the arenas and to watch the games. So I wish the games great success.
Meanwhile, the atmosphere in the stadium arena is getting warmer too. People are anticipating a big start of the major sporting event.
I am so excited. I've heard about this for years, and this is my first time to get to see it live.
One of the guests of the event is a blogger and polyglot from Japan, Yuji Beleza, who, while traveling the world, speaks to people in their native languages. Yuji shares with us his plans over the next couple of days of his stay in Astana for the World Nomad Games.
I love Kazakhstan so far. Kazakhstan people, first of all, thank you so much for being so kind, hospitable, and so welcoming. It really surprises me and overwhelms me every time I come.
Now the long anticipated moment has approached. There is a countdown on the screen and...
The
grand opening ceremony of the 5th World Nomad Games has officially started. We're now witnessing the parade of national teams, participants of the Games. The parade consists of the national teams from nearly 90 countries all over the world. This shows the real scale and growing global interest in traditional sports. In his speech, President Tokayev emphasizes the role of the Games as a tool of promoting the richness and uniqueness of the nomadic culture.
Sport
Sport is a symbol of mutual respect and solidarity. The main mission of sport is to strengthen the friendship of peoples. Kazakhstan is known to all as a territory of peace and harmony. Different ethnic groups live in mutual understanding in our country. We have established strong ties with countries near and far abroad, and we want other countries to be in good relations with each other. I am confident that the Nomad Games will contribute to strengthening international solidarity.
The spectacular show has a really immersive effect. The viewers dive themselves into the history of nomadic civilization's birth, from the ancient times to the times of formation of Kazakh Khanate. The artists, including world-known Dimash Kudaibergen, perform on the stage. This is the final accord of the week, which has started from the State of the Nation address and now will proceed to the arranging of the World Nomad Games.